Hey everyone, I hope all is well. Welcome back. If you are new here, welcome to my sacred space, okay? First and foremost, this is Love No Limits, and here is your daily pick a card reading. This reading should give you some insight on what's going to be occurring for you within the next 24 hours. So take a second, okay? Meditate on which pile is for you. If you feel called to more than one, check out as many as you feel called to, okay? If these readings resonate with you, let me know down in those comments below. Dropping a little rose down there can sometimes go a long way. Also, if you find yourself liking the content, hit that like button, my friends. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not done so already. So, my friends, let's introduce the piles now. This is going to be pile number 1 with Dream Big. This is going to be pile number 2 with Strength. And this is going to be pile number 3 with Revelation. As always, timestamps are located down below in that description box. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. Hey, pile number 1, welcome to your reading today, my lovelies. This is the daily reading, timeless, of course. What is going to be on your menu within the next 24 hours? So, pile number 1, to start the readings today, I have the Getting Old Ain't for Wimps book here. Okay, there's a bunch of cute short stories. So to start the reading, I thought it would be fun to just flip to a random page and read aloud what's on it. So you guys have, the story is called Clueless. Interesting. So it says, on a Monday evening, Barbara took a moment to think about what she wanted to do the next day. One of the family cars was in the body shops, so she had to plan ahead if she needed to use the other one. She knew she could postpone a few errands, but she really wanted to make it to her favorite produce store, Sprouts, for what is called Overlap Day, when the ad specials run Wednesday to Wednesday instead of the usual Wednesday to Tuesday. Oris, my husband, graciously offered to come home at noon that day and eat lunch with me, said Barbara. Then I could take him back to work, run my errands, and pick him up at the end of the day. It sounded like an ideal plan, until the couple retired for the night. As we were getting ready for bed, she said, we both suddenly realized it was Monday night, not Tuesday night, so the plans we had made were unnecessary. Barbara would have her car by the time Wednesday rolled around. That meant she could go to the overlap day without inconveniencing her husband. Perfect. The next morning, however, as they were eating breakfast, Barbara suddenly thought of something important. I've got to check Sprout's newspaper ad, she told Oris, to see if there's anything I want before you leave for work. If nothing hits me, then you won't need to come home at noon as we planned. Barbara leafed through the newspaper quickly and couldn't find the usual Wednesday ad. Then it hit her. This was Tuesday, not Wednesday. When would she get that straight? She felt clueless. She and her husband laughed. Well, Barbara said to Oris, as she opened the refrigerator, you need a lunch for today, and I need to figure out what day of the week it really is. Aw, how funny. So pile number 1. Okay, I really like this short story. Okay, there's a lot of planning going on within it, and in case you didn't catch on, a lot of this was over planning, which is really interesting here because you guys also have this Dream Big card, right? So dream big, okay? Within the next 24 hours, pile number 1. Like Barbara in the short story, right? You may find yourself kind of thinking a little bit too big, right? And as a result, Barbara didn't even realize what day it was, right? She's so focused on planning this, doing this, and it turned out that it wasn't even the day, right? that she needed to do all these things, which made a lot of unnecessary work for her. So pile number 1, in relation to the story and the Dream Big card, perhaps within the next 24 hours, you may find yourself in a similar position, okay? Perhaps you are, putting all your attention into, the details of something, okay? And perhaps you just need to take a step back and look at the bigger picture, right? Because I guarantee in that short story, if Barbara were to just, glimpse at the calendar, okay, if she wasn't so focused and hyper-focused on this one, tiny little detail, perhaps she would have realized, okay, that it wasn't even the day that she needed to do all this. So pile number one, very interesting start to the reading here, okay? Perhaps you guys will find yourself being a little bit busy, okay, a little bit distracted. And maybe even, maybe even you yourself will have a little bit of a laugh at the end of all of it. But pile number one, let's dive a little deeper. Your first tarot card today is the Ace of Swords. So the Ace of Swords is an energy of, it can be an energy of kind of cutting out, okay, of what's no longer serving you. So like in that short story, right? If Barbara just kind of like prioritized a little bit better, okay? I mean, don't get me wrong. She thought she was prioritizing. But I feel like within the next 24 hours, pile number one, you are going to be, cutting out unnecessary tasks, cutting out unnecessary, actions, habits. Okay. I have a feeling that within the next 24 hours, pile number one, okay, you may experience a little bit of a shift, okay, in your daily activities, your daily schedule, right? I'm definitely getting the sense here, though, that something's going to be cut out, okay? Cut out permanently, temporarily, right? Take it how it's resonating. But your second tarot card today is the High Priestess. So the High Priestess, I have a feeling, pile number one, within the next 24 hours, you guys are going to be following your intuition, okay, a lot more, following your gut feeling. You also have dream big. Perhaps you have really high expectations for yourself, okay? Or you have really high hopes for something at this time. If that is the case, pile number one, I feel like for the most part, everything that you're kind of planning right now, okay, everything that you're trying to kind of put together, right, trying to weave together, I feel like at the end of the day, okay, maybe not literally, maybe, maybe literally at the end of this day, I feel like everything is just going to kind of come together, right? Like in the short story, Barbara had everything planned, everything put together, right? However, it just wasn't the day. It just wasn't her day. So pile number one, perhaps within the next 24 hours, you may feel a similar way. Perhaps you have everything together. Okay, you really went big on something. Your third tarot card today is the Four of Swords. So the Four of Swords, this is an energy of getting a little bit of rest. Okay, taking a load off, getting enough sleep. So pile number one, within the next 24 hours, I'm definitely feeling like you guys may be feeling a little frantic. Okay, a little bit, tired, restless even. I feel like there's going to be a lot on your plate. If that isn't the case, then pile number one, perhaps in your recent past or even in your present, you may resonate with kind of feeling a little drained, right? I feel like for the majority of you, I feel like you guys are putting in a lot of work. You guys are putting in a lot of energy, okay, into something you want to do, something you want to achieve here, right? Within the next 24 hours, okay, try and get some rest in. Okay, rest, rejuvenation. It's always a great idea to recharge, especially when you are coming close to that, that breaking point. So pile number one, within the next 24 hours, I definitely see you guys cutting out, okay, all the unnecessary things, all those unnecessary tasks that just kind of keep adding up, okay, throughout the day. And you guys are going to be prioritizing here. I feel like you guys are being called, right? I feel like your attention is being called elsewhere, okay? Listen to that. Listen to that gut feeling that you're getting, right? If you're putting too much energy into one task or one area of your life, you actually are, losing energy and losing balance in another area. Okay, so pile number one, make sure within the next 24 hours, you guys are really balancing your schedule. Okay, dreaming big is great, but maintaining that dream can be a little draining sometimes. So keep that in mind, pile number one. But my friends, I have this last oracle card here for you guys. This card should really give you some solid advice on how to move forward. So you guys have spring with see your seeds grow. I love that. See your seeds grow. So pile number one, okay, within the next 24 hours, perhaps you guys will be, I'm being called to tell you to be more receptive, okay? Be more receptive of this dream, okay? Of the seeds finally sprouting. I feel like you guys will gain a lot of clarity through this. I feel like overall, pile number one, within the next 24 hours, perhaps you guys just need to take a step back from whatever this is that you're working on currently, okay? And really appreciate the progress so far, right? For some of you, I'm even being called, okay, that if you do that, perhaps you will feel inspired to actually move in a different direction. Um, for some of you, because we have the high priestess here, right, facing this way, and then we have the rabbit kind of jumping the opposite way. So, pile number one, only take that if it resonates, of course. But, my lovelies, I believe that's all I'm seeing in the cards for you today. Don't forget, my friends, to hit that like button. Please consider subscribing to the channel and drop a rose down in the comments, okay? Tell me if the reading resonated, your thoughts, anything you want to say down there, definitely go for it. But pile number one, have a fabulous next 24 hours, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Hey, pile number two, welcome to your reading today, my friends. This is the daily reading, timeless, of course, what is going to be occurring for you within the next 24 hours. So, pile number two, to start the readings today, I have this book here. It's called Getting Old Ain't for Wimps by Karen O'Connor. So I thought it would be fun to just flip to a random page. Okay, there's a bunch of little short stories on here. So let's flip to a random page and read out loud what you guys have. So your short story, pile number two, it's called Blondes Have More Fun. So it says, one Sunday morning, Letty shampooed her hair. After towel drying it, she applied mousse. She had been using gel to bring it down under control. But this particular day, she decided to use a different product to see what results she'd get. As I was blow drying my hair, I couldn't help but notice how much body it had. Why did I stop using this? I wondered, already pleased with what I saw. Her hair dried beautifully, and it was so easy to manage. I felt good about my hair all day, said Letty. She attended church and then went to dinner with friends. When she returned home, she was still delighted with how nice her hair had stayed all day and evening. She also noticed that it had more highlights than usual. It actually appeared lighter than her usual gray color. By Monday morning, Letty said it was definitely a golden color. Then she realized something that was terribly wrong. What happened to my gray hair? She muttered to herself. At that point, she reached under the sink and pulled out the can she had used. Oh no, she shouted. Self-tanning skin mousse? Letty looked at herself in the mirror and laughed out loud. Then she checked the expiration date on the can. 1994. Way out of date, but it still worked. Letty washed her hair several times that week, but there was no going back to gray. She was blonde. Now to see if blondes really do have more fun. A few days later, Letty attended the women's Christmas luncheon and party at her church. She gave the devotional program as usual. She could tell heads were nodding as the woman noticed her new do, so she addressed the topic from the front of the room. Ladies, said Letty, I know you're too polite to ask, so I'll tell you what I did to my hair. After relating her experience, the audience broke into laughter. Then they shared their comments spontaneously. It's pretty, looks really good, very becoming. You should keep using this mousse. Yes, pull it out of the trash. It matches your gold knit sweater. A few days later, Letty went to her hairdresser's. She was ready for her quarterly perm. The beautician was afraid to perm Letty's hair because of the mousse. She wasn't sure the chemicals would mix appropriately. 2 weeks later, Letty returned. I'm not leaving here without a perm, she said. If my hair turns green or orange or purple, just spray me with the glitter and I'll sparkle. Fortunately, the perm did not damage Letty's hair. In fact, she still has some of the blonde highlights, and she admits it's been a lot of fun. Oh, that is so cute. So pile number two, okay, this short story was very interesting. So, okay, there was Letty, right? They did explain how she was gray, so she must have been some sort of older woman, okay? And she uses the self-tanning skin mousse in her hair, turns her hair blonde, and then she just kind of rolls with it. I really like that energy, pile number 2. It's very interesting because you guys also have the strength card here. Okay, and the way Letty was acting, okay, in the short story was very Leo-ish, okay? So pile number 2, I am feeling called to ask, okay, if anyone is a Leo out there, let me know down in those comments below, okay? Because I really feel like this is a very much Leo energy. But pile number 2, okay, strength, yeah. What she did and how she handled this situation, I would consider her, being very strong, remaining very positive, okay? I know a lot of people that wouldn't take that situation lightly. So I feel like Letty really did, embody strength. Okay, she really represented strength in that story to me, which is interesting. But pile number 2, your first tarot card today is the Eight of Swords. Interesting, okay? Because I just made that comment about how, a lot of people wouldn't have handled that situation, okay, that way. A lot of people would have kind of shut down, not left their house, been extremely paranoid, okay? I know I would. I don't look good as a blonde, I don't think. So if I woke up with blonde hair, I don't know how I would be feeling. But yeah, anyways, pile number 2. Okay, your first tarot card today is the Eight of Swords here. So, unlike Letty, within your next 24 hours, you guys may, be feeling a little bit overwhelmed, a little bit entrapped in something here. Okay, this could also represent some sort of past energy. Okay, for some of you, perhaps in your recent past or just recently in general, you've been feeling a little bit overwhelmed, okay? Kind of like, just entrapped. I do have a feeling, pile number 2, if that is the case, okay, this is all in your head. This is all in the headspace here, right? Because she's being represented here with the in the middle of the 8 swords, completely blindfolded. So pile number 2, I'm definitely sensing for some of you, quite recently, you may have been feeling a little bit entrapped here, okay? For some of you, this could be perhaps you're just overloaded, okay, when it comes to your schedule. There could be a lot on your schedule, a lot of responsibilities, a lot of duties at this time, and perhaps it's hard finding some self-care time, okay? It's hard finding time in general for yourself, okay? That's an example. Only take that if it resonates, my friends. Everyone's situation is so different. But your second tarot card today is the Magician. Yeah, I really like that. Okay, so the Magician, this is kind of like the tables turning in your favor for you, pile number 2. I feel like with the Magician card, right? Like in that short story, Letty she remained the main character, okay? She remained in control of her responses, okay? And she did pretty well, right? So pile number 2, within the next 24 hours, okay? Like I was picking up before, you may resonate with kind of feeling like there's a lot on your plate, okay? You're entrapped, you're kind of drowned in responsibilities, duties, things of that nature. Okay, with the Magician card, I feel like you guys are going to be more aware of this, okay? More aware of the fact that the only thing that you can control at this time is your response, okay? When Letty woke up with that blonde hair, right? Don't get me wrong, pile number 2. She was probably startled, right? But she knew that, what was done, and all she could do is, move forward. So what did she do? She went to church, okay? She let everyone know. She let everyone know right off the bat. She took matters into her own hands here. So for you, pile number 2, I'm definitely feeling a similar energy. Within the next 24 hours, okay, I feel like you guys are going to be accumulating strength through the fact that you are aware that you have more control than you thought you did, okay? You can control how you respond to things, how you feel about certain things, right? Okay, so pile number 2, you're definitely coming out of a period of entrapment, okay? And in a period of stability here, in a period of realizing that you are the main character in your life, okay? And you have more control over your thoughts, emotions, reactions than you may have anticipated in the past. Very interesting stuff here. Your last tarot card is, ooh, interesting. Pile number 2. You guys have another strength card. Very interesting stuff. So yeah, pile number 2. I was actually just going to make a comment, okay, that realizing this in itself is strength. I feel like within the next 24 hours, my friends, you guys are going to be gaining, okay, a lot of strength through some sort of recognition, okay? Recognition of where you are in your situation and what you can actually do, okay, to either change your situation for yourself, okay, change how you feel about your situation, right? I feel like you guys are really taking more control over your own life right now, which is absolutely beautiful. So yeah, pile number 2, I have your last card here. This card should really give you some solid advice on how to move forward. So, you guys have High Priestess with Harness Mystic Power. I feel like you guys are doing that. You guys are harnessing your own power, right? I also want to point out the cat. Okay, a lot of felines in your reading, right? We have the little cat here. We have the lion in the strength card. Okay. Number 2, yeah, you're definitely harnessing your own power within the next 24 hours. Okay. You see this little, I'm not entirely sure what this is, but for some reason I'm being called to this here, this object right here. Okay. You may know what that is, okay, or recognize it as something. Definitely let me know in those comments if you do. But yeah, that really is sticking out to me. I'm not entirely sure why. Okay. But yeah, pile number 2, beautiful message. Okay. I feel like you guys are really understanding the power within here. Very beautiful stuff. So, pile number 2, have a fabulous next 24 hours, my friends. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a rose down below, okay, in those comments. Or you could just let me know if the reading resonated, your thoughts about it, anything you want to put down there, go for it. Pile number 2, have a fabulous next 24 hours, and I will catch you guys next time. Hey, pile number 3, welcome to your reading today, my lovelies. This is the daily reading, what is going to be on your menu for the next 24 hours. So, pile number 3, to kick your reading off today, I'm going to start by reading a short story from this book here. It's called Getting Old Ain't for Wimps by Karen O'Connor. And I'm just going to flip to a random page. There's a bunch of short stories on there, okay? So let's see what you guys have. Pile number 3. You guys have the story. It's called Talking to Myself. And it goes, psychologists generally agree it's healthy to talk to yourself, said Connie. So that's my excuse for doing so. Besides, I believe it's good to get my ideas and feelings out in the open and offer myself some positive feedback. I tell myself it's beneficial. Connie admits to talking to herself more and more than ever before, actually. Maybe it's because she is a senior. And she's not referring to the age thing. She believes it has more to do with the wisdom that comes from getting older. It just spills out as we mature, she said. After all, God reminds us not to hide our lights under a bushel. Still, Connie claims that talking to herself does concern her sometimes. I wonder if I'm getting senile. I saw this behavior in my grandfather. I hope it's not hereditary. She remembers a time years ago when she observed her grandfather standing on the front porch of her home, scolding someone with conviction, except no one was there. Connie called out to him, "Grandpa, who are you talking to?" "Your grandma," he replied, obviously pleased that someone asked. "But Grandma's in the house taking a nap." "Yes, she is," he said, "but this is the only time I can get a word in edgewise." Despite family history, Connie said she's not afraid to admit that she does talk to herself, even if some people think she's a bit loony. "I talk to myself so much that my husband Dennis often finds it hard to figure out whether I'm addressing him or myself. For example, one day he walked into the room while I was having a terrific conversation with myself. Embarrassed at being caught, I told him I was praying out loud." But over time, I had to tell him the truth, since, shall we say, my conversations weren't always spiritual. Connie, a writer, explained that writers are unique individuals who need this particular way of expressing themselves. Dennis told his wife that she expressed herself plenty, but he didn't mind if she wanted to talk to herself too. That way, he said, you're sure to get the answers you want to hear. How funny. So, pile number three, I really love this short story, okay? Talking to yourself, the one thing that really stuck out to me was the fact that this is how she expresses herself. This is how she does, this is how she reflects, okay, on a daily basis. It's just how she expresses herself in general, which is very interesting, pile number three, because you guys actually have picked this revelation card. So within the next 24 hours, pile number three, perhaps you yourself may find yourself talking to yourself quite a lot, okay? Perhaps someone will be reaching out to you. Either way, whenever Connie talked to herself, right, she said, this is how I express. This is how I get things out. Okay, this is how she provides revelations to herself. So pile number three, I feel like within the next 24 hours, you yourself are going to acquire some sort of revelation here. Okay, some sort of epiphany. Okay, and I feel like this is going to happen through some sort of expression. Okay, this could be talking. This could be a different way of expressing, like through the arts. Very interesting stuff. But pile number three, your first tarot card today is the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands, I would consider Connie in that short story, okay, very much embodying this Queen of Wands energy. Okay, the Queen of Wands is someone who is very, very confident, okay, in their skills. Okay, they're very nurturing towards themselves, very kind to themselves, kind to others, right? So pile number three, I have a feeling that this Queen of Wands is really coming in hot to let us know that within the next 24 hours, I feel like you yourself are going to be feeling very confident, okay, in however it is that you're expressing something currently. Okay, you may feel more confidence in, okay, perhaps you have been doing some reflection, okay, recently, and perhaps you finally come to some sort of epiphany, some sort of aha moment. And I feel like overall, you guys are going to be feeling very passionate about that, very confident about that, right? Very cool stuff. So your second tarot card today is the Sun card. I love this. Lots of fire, okay, in your reading today. You may resonate as being a fire sign. Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, okay? However, you don't have to, it's just an energy. But pile number three, the Sun card. This is joy, excitement, fulfillment. So pile number three, whatever it is you're going to be uncovering for yourself here, whatever it is you're going to be realizing, okay? It's going to help bring in a lot more fulfillment. Okay, it's going to bring in a lot more joy, a lot more comfort. Overall, pile number three, I definitely see you guys very much in a positive mood, okay, within the next 24 hours. I really like that, my friends. This is awesome stuff. But your last tarot card today is the Two of Pentacles. So the Two of Pentacles can often represent kind of going back and forth about something, right? Something I want to point out. There was a part in that story where Connie actually contemplated if she was going senile, right? So we have the two opposing, okay, ideas here. One, talking to myself is very much helpful, or two, that's crazy, right? That kind of was her ultimatum here in her short story. But for you, pile number three, I feel like it's very similar energy, right? Perhaps you kind of are going back and forth about, the way you're doing something. Say, for example, other people may find it a little bit weird, a little bit loony. However, it works for you. Whatever this is representing, pile number three, I feel like you guys are, or you may be doubting, I should say. You may be doubting your skills at this time, okay? How you reflect, how you do things. If that's the case, pile number three, within the next 24 hours, I feel like overall, okay, you're going to be transformed out of this Two of Pentacles energy, and you're going to be feeling a lot more confident, okay? If it works for you, do it, right? Who cares what other people think? It's working, right? That's the whole point here. Very beautiful stuff. I really love this reading, pile number two. I have a feeling that the next 24 hours is going to just overall be a boost of positivity for you guys. But my friends, I have this last oracle card here for you guys. This card should really give you some solid advice on how to move forward. So, you guys have the eagle with see from a higher perspective. See from a higher perspective. Yeah. Okay, you guys got a lot of revelations, epiphanies, okay? Perhaps within the next 24 hours, you guys will be taking a step back, okay? Perhaps taking a bigger look at things, all right? If you do this, pile number 3, I have a feeling that whatever this Two of Pentacles was representing for you, okay? This could be anything, however this reading, okay? However this reading fits into your life, that's what it's meant to be, okay? So definitely within the next 24 hours, pile number 3, take a step back. Okay, try and soak in everything, the whole bigger picture here. And I feel like you guys are going to come up with something very wise for yourself. I feel like you guys are going to come up with some sort of trick for some of you on how to complete something faster, some sort of epiphany. So pile number 3, I believe that's all I'm seeing in these lovely cards for you today. Don't forget, my friends, to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a rose down below in those comments, okay? Have a fabulous next 24 hours, and I will catch you guys in the next video.